Hello, this video is going to cover the scale positions, namely the pentatonic scales. The pentatonic scales are diatonic scales with the 4th and 7th degree missing. And if you've ever played pentatonic scales, there's sort of like this wide interval thing going on where you have to reach, that kind of thing going on where you have to reach the notes. Those are the places where you have to reach from the 3 to the 5 and the 6 to the 1. Depending on what mode you're in and what position you're in, it could be the 3 to the 5 or the 6 to the 1, or it could be the 1 to the flat 3, or it could be a lot of different things. That's covered in different videos, the theory videos namely. Be sure to watch those to understand that. But just understand that there are notes missing, which means that you have to reach like that and do these wide intervals. These scales are very useful. They're by no means beginner scales. If anybody thinks they're beginner scales, you are incorrect. They are actually very, very powerful scales. They provide a choppy, blues-like sound and are really wired for blues and jazz and rock and just pop and just about anything. In fact, all the greats used them, and we won't go into names, but some really, really good players out there use pentatonic scales. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll see you in the first position. For the sake of understanding this first position and all the positions that follow in the pentatonic scale, we're going to be starting everything on the 3rd fret. The 3rd fret is G on the E string. Now it's important to know that we're starting all of these on the 3rd fret so you can get a good understanding of each position and how they differentiate themselves from each other, and how the formulas in each one of these positions alter the sound and how they match up with chords and so on. Now, to some that might not make any sense right now, but there are 5 notes in a pentatonic scale, and there are 5 positions that branch off of those 5 notes, and we're going to play all 5 of those positions starting on G to give you a good idea of how each position sounds when it starts on the same note. So let's start with the first position. Please download our first position pentatonic primary major diagram via PDF. It's got all the fingerings and stuff on there for you so you can follow along. The first note's G, of course. You're going to sort of go back and forth, sort of like teeter-totter type of effect. You're not doing the 3 notes per string as the diatonic scale is, and the pentatonic is more choppy. So we've just got 2 notes a string with pentatonic and 3 notes a string with diatonic. So let's start with 2 notes a string. Let's come down here. Our middle finger is going to start the show on the 3rd fret. And so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2. So as you can see, once we hit the octave, we just started over again at 1 and just started playing again. So if we do it a little quicker, it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, and then we're done. Now, major chord consists of 1s, 3s, and 5s, so this scale would fit perfectly over a G major chord, which would be played like this. And so that's how the story goes. See you in the next position. This next position is called the secondary minor scale, and the secondary minor scale does not contain a 3. Therefore, it doesn't really belong in the minor group, but it does. It's kind of constructed to fit in with things that are minor and is derived from a minor mode in the diatonic scale, which we won't go into right away, but is missing a few notes here and there. And essentially, this is the trickiest one of all of them, really, because you're entailed to use your middle and then your pinky finger, middle pinky, and go back and forth between these two instead of this. This is easy, and this is a little more difficult. But if you do it this difficult way, believe it or not, the easier way gets easier. So you don't have to strain as much when you go back to doing it the way that you're used to, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, give us a call, we'll explain. I'm just kidding. Actually, don't call us up and ask us that. Actually, that's okay. Go ahead. Don't call it. I'm confusing you. It's my job to make sense and not confuse you. So let's go back and go ahead and start on the 3rd fret, middle finger. And so this is 1, and then we're coming over here to our pinky finger, 2, and then we have 4, 5, and then flat 7. So that's the first octave, and that's going to be the second octave too. 1, 2, 4, 5, flat 7, and then back to 1 again, and then back to 2, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, and then 2. Please check out our PDF download for this scale. It goes into detail a little more about where to put your fingers and how to play it. But that's what it sounds like, and it goes great over minor 7 chords and minor chords. Here's a G minor chord. And then here's the G minor, secondary minor that is, pentatonic. Or G minor 7. So it goes over those minor 7 chords very well. There's another one that does as well, but these are all different scales for different chords. That's the 2nd position, and that's G secondary minor. We'll see you in the next position. This next position is called mixed minor, and it's called mixed minor because it has the characteristics of a major, but it also has characteristics of minor too, which is a very telling characteristic of jazz. It usually has a flat 3 and a regular 3 in it. Well, this one has a sharp 5 and also a flat 6, which are basically the same thing, but in addition it has a flat 3, so it's a minor, plus it has the characteristics of an augmented chord, which are sort of from the major family. So it's got kind of a weird type of sound. And let's go ahead and start on the G string, or I'm sorry, the note G on the E string, excuse me. And go ahead and play the mixed minor scale. The formula for the scale is 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 5, flat 7, 1, and then again, we're going to do it again, flat 3, 4, sharp 5, flat 7, 1, and then flat 3 again. So any chord that would overlay that pattern or that series of notes would be a perfect chord for that scale. It's really a matter of matching up the right chord with the right scale. So if your scale contains a 3 and not a minor third, it would probably behoove you to use a major chord over your scale, or and vice versa, to get a sound that works well for both types. So once again, let's just go over that again. 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 5, flat 7, 1, and then 3 again. And there you go. That's the mixed minor scale pentatonic, and it goes over a lot of different chords. Please check out our PDF form to see what kind of chords it goes over. See you in the next position. This next position is the 4th position pentatonic scale. This is the secondary major pentatonic scale. We're going to start it on G, just with the same note we've been starting all our scales on. And so down here, we're down here on G, and it's G, and then the rest. So let's go. Here it is. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. And that's the G secondary major scale pentatonic. And please download our PDF to see what chords it goes with. It'll show you. It goes great with major chords. It goes great with just about any chord. It doesn't have a 3. That's why it's secondary. See you in the next position. The last position, pentatonic scale. This is a very popular position. It's called the primary minor pentatonic position, and we're going to start it on G. And it looks somewhat like the mixed minor scale position, the third position, except it's a little different. It goes great with minor chords, of course. It goes great with major chords as well. Like I said, you can try these to layer these positions over different types of chords. And in layering them over the chord, you get a really good idea of what type of chord, you know, these can go with. And sometimes it's good to have a couple notes in common with the chord you're playing over, as far as your scale is concerned. Sometimes it's good to have a couple, more than a couple notes, like 3. Sometimes it's just hanging on one note, having that be the only thing that has anything in common with the chord you're playing is sometimes really, really cool, especially if you want dissonance and jazz-like type sound. So in that way, there really isn't any wrong notes. It's just it's a matter of rhythm at that point. And that's a secret. Don't tell anybody that. Okay? Nobody knows this but you. So anyway, let's go ahead and start on the 3rd fret. 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3. And this is a very popular position for blues. And a lot of people like to play in that scale and flip out in it all day when they're playing blues, jazz, bebop, and a good way to mix this stuff together would be to superimpose these positions over each other. Say, for instance, if you took the primary major scale and then took the primary minor scale and did that the rest of the way up. So you do the primary major scale for the first 3 strings and then switch it over to primary minor for the rest of the way. And it kind of gives it a little, gives a little bite in the middle of the scale that no one's really expecting. And that, if you're just messing around, you won't be expecting either. It can sometimes be kind of a treat. So try to superimpose some of the scales over each other, or some of the modes or positions that I've showed you over different chords, and just stay in the same spot and listen. Some of the best players stay in the same spot. They don't move around a whole lot, and it's a good way to listen. It's a good way to play, and try it. Have fun. That's what it's all about. And be sure to watch our music theory videos and download our PDFs for further clarification on some of this stuff, because these videos, like I said, are kind of primitive themselves. It is high def video, but it's kind of small, and the videos will get bigger down the road. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you lessons. This is Stu Johnson. Take care.